What's up guys, in this video I'll be going over the Sharpshooter specialization, like perks, build combinations, and playstyles. Now I'm not going to spend a lot of time on every single perk, but I'll be hitting the highlights and going from there. Everything will sort of tie together, so that by then, at the end, you'll have a good idea of how this guy will play. The Sharpshooter is designed to be just that, in its purest form. It's meant to be away from the enemies and dealing as much damage as it can, like a true sniper. Its perks are built around making you a tactician and not a rusher, which is why the signature weapon is the TAC 50C, an extremely powerful 50 caliber sniper rifle. This signature weapon penetrates all armor except for the stuff that you have to break off enemies piece by piece. It will also pierce through the target, going so far as to give you collateral kills or hit weak points on their back. It does have a slight AoE effect if they're close enough, but it's not a whole lot of damage, more of a stagger effect than anything. You acquire this weapon's ammo by getting headshot kills unless you have the perk, and then your signature weapon itself can drop it for both you and your teammates. With no perks active down in the shooting range against elite enemies, this TAC 50 did 524,656 damage on a headshot. Not too shabby, but some snipers can outshoot this with the right armor setup. Now keep in mind, your damage may vary, but all these numbers were done with the same build, so it gives you a good idea. However, when you spend some points in the signature weapon damage up to tier 4, it gives 145% increased damage, bringing it up to 1,213,119. The gun does not appear to be affected by the rifle damage booster in the bottom left corner, but it is affected at least slightly by the headshot modifier in the top right. With both of these active, I got a headshot damage for 1.3 million, 5,723. What I'm trying to say is that this thing is a monster at taking out enemies in one shot if you can be accurate. This is by no means extensive DPS testing with this guy, I just wanted it to be a good idea of what the weapon can do under ideal circumstances. Which brings me to my next point. On max tier, the rifle damage booster gives 15% increased damage, and headshot modifier gives 25% headshot damage. Combining that with the digital scope giving a plus 45% to headshot damage, this class is ideal for making some seriously powerful sniper builds. Me personally, with the build I have, I get up to 600,000 damage to elite enemies and around 450,000 for non-elite enemies. Not too shabby. Moving on to slightly less damage dealing perks, on the top we have the blinding grenades, which aren't bad and have a large radius to disorient some enemies. Not the best grenade in the game, but not a flop either. Above that we have the deft hand, which gives a 30% increased reload speed, which makes using a single reload weapon like the M44 sniper a lot better because the reload can be quite painful. And breath control, that gives 30% increased weapon stability, reduced recoil, and faster target reacquisition. I find this to be better with the fast firing rifles like the SIG CQB. It also mitigates the minus 20% stability from the digital scope. Lastly, on top of the tree we have the X-Stat armor kits. This is the Sharpshooter's armor kit mod. Now I've seen some mixed opinions about this in the community, but I love it because I usually run the chem for heals anyways. This guy makes your armor kits heal 50% less, but it removes status effects and increases resistance to bleed, poison, and burns for 20 seconds. I find myself on fire a lot, and it really does save your life to get a heal off and remove the fire effect while you're at it. So I'm a fan, but maybe you won't be. The subclass of Quartz gets the recon drone. Decent little tactical skill, but there are better options out there. Check out my review of the drone if you want details on that one, but it basically goes out and scouts the battlefield where you tell it to go and marks the enemies like the Pulse does. Moving on to our last corner in the bottom right, we have the Sharpshooter Tactical Link, which gives all teammates closer to the enemies than you a 10% headshot damage boost. You gain extra armor in cover, but no percentages given here, so we're not sure. You reduce the chance you're critically hit in conflict by 20%, and the highlight down here for me is the round after round. After 20 seconds in cover, you start generating 5 marksman ammo and 5 rifle ammo every 10 seconds. This perk can be invaluable in harder difficulties if you've built yourself a glass cannon type of build and are staying as far away from enemies as you possibly can. You can start to run out of ammo really quickly, especially for those precious sniper bullets, especially if you are smashing away at a lot of enemies with a faster firing rifle. The last thing I wanted to cover was this Specialization's Sidearm, the Sharpshooter 93R. Now right now these sidearms do not have a gear score. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but if they ever get fixed, here's what you need to know. It's a 3-round burst gun, unlike all the other sidearms that I'm aware of in the game. It did its job fairly good at lower levels if you got pinched with the enemies rushing you if you have a long range build set up. Right now, however, I actually couldn't get gameplay of this in my current world tier because I'm in world tier 4 and this thing did literally no damage to anything, so you couldn't even see the health bars move. In my opinion, the Liberty Exotic pistol is the best one to be using with this kind of a build, but that's just me. So in summary, this specialization makes building things like crazy damage one-hit kill builds and can be great for a support player or someone who likes to be an eye in the sky on the battlefield, raining sniper fire from the back and chipping away at enemies while your team sweeps up what you don't one-shot. It's my favorite specialization and I highly recommend it for anybody that likes snipers, rifles, or anything of the sort. That's all I have for you in this video, guys. Leave me a comment about how you feel about this specialization and any questions you might have. Like this video, it really does help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel for future Division 2 content. With that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.